Hello, I'm Ragnarok, and welcome to the Reckoning. So today we are doing the first of the Felgarths Sub-faction videos for the Holy Syndicate. So Felgarth is the most recent faction to get a rework, second after the Cold Embrace, and the two sub-factions it was given was the Holy Syndicate and House Stormcaller. This video will cover the first of those, the Holy Syndicate. We'll show the location you can get it, learn it. We'll show their sanctuary, the new Felgarth sanctuary that was added, and then we'll go into all the items and stuff you get when you choose the Holy Syndicate path. Okay, so here we are at the Faction Hall. If you're not familiar with the Faction Hall, we have the Beginner's Faction Guide that we released that will show basically all the early game stuff for you, how to pick your faction, a little bit of information about each of the factions, stuff like that, and then we go over like how to build in your faction and stuff like that. So definitely check out the video if you're not familiar. We also show obviously where this location is. After you pick your faction, as you can see, Felgarth now has a portal, whereas they didn't before. So we're going to go through it. And only factions that currently have reworks will have portals. If you go into a room, you don't see a portal, it means that faction hasn't been reworked yet. They will all be reworked by the end of the year. Anyways, or at least that's the goal. Now, this is the Felgarth Sanctuary. You can only get in here if you are Felgarth. I really like the look of it. You got this nice little mana pool over here. You have these library books. You got a little eagle wings above the actual portal. There's a room up here that's got some really cool stuff in it, at least, visually. That room's got a really cool portal in it, stuff like that. Definitely check those out if you have a chance. Then on the sides, we have the House Stormcaller sub-faction over there. And then over here is the one we care about today, the Holy Syndicate room. Now here's the Holy Syndicate's room. You can get a little gist of some of the stuff they get. Now, Holy Syndicate is basically you, more or less, you're part of Felgarth, but you're kind of sent off to like Elvenor to learn some of the Elvenor ways, their arcane ways and stuff like that. So it's kind of something similar to that. You can listen to the dialogue when you learn the sub-faction, you go on the quest and all that stuff. So you can learn definitely a bunch more to it. Either way, as far as becoming the Holy Syndicate, we released a video recently, the Felgarth Sub-faction quest video. That will show the steps that you need to finish and the pretty lengthy quest that you have to do in order to pick a faction. Once you complete that quest, the cool thing is that quest is exactly, and all the steps are exactly the same, no matter which of the two sub-factions you pick. That's only the case for Felgarth currently. Cold Embrace, each of the sub-factions have different quests. So once you can go through that video, if you're not familiar with it, and you complete all the steps in there, then you can come into this room, and you can talk to this gentleman right here, and you can touch this statue right here, and you will become the Holy Syndicate. We'll take a quick look at their feats. And it just gets added into the Order of Felgarth, and as you can see right here, there's the Holy Syndicate. Here's all their nice items. And then you get this at level 80, which you have to be in order to pick a sub-faction. And then at level 120, you get their last feat. So they have two different feats. And the cool thing is, as you can see, elite, as with the Cold Embrace, there's an elite variant of some of the items that you get at level 80. So basically you use these items to craft these items, and the stats are higher and better or whatever. So kind of cool way to keep the items that are specific to the faction through all the levels instead of just getting at level 80 and by the time you're 120 you throw it away and you're like, well, I don't even look like my faction anymore. So now you can keep that stuff as you go along. Okay, so the first item we're going to go through that you get when you choose the Holy Syndicate as your sub-faction is we're going to go through Volcanic Heat. The main reason I want to go through it is because it's one of the ones I have to kind of leave the area to demonstrate, but also because it's kind of unique and it is an item that we've had the opposite of it for a while. But we've never had this variant of this type of item. So it is not a magical spell. It is a magical utility, and it's actually a head equipment. So as you can see, if you look at underneath my yellow bar to the right, you can see my current temperature, which is negative 42 degrees Celsius, and I am frostbitten. Now that means I can't heal, I can't climb, and I'll be taking damage. Now, obviously, I'm not in a mode where I'm taking damage, but if I equip this in my head slot, Volcanic Heat, temperature increased. It is basically a way of heating yourself up, but it's a permanent heat up as long as you're wearing the item. And you can see my temperature dropping. We're just going to stay here for a second, and we're going to see how much the temperature drops. Now, I have tested this with a lot of stuff. You can wear basically any cold armor, even armors that you typically couldn't go into the Frost Temple with, and without getting frostbitten or extremely cold, and you will definitely not be extremely cold anymore. You can also go on there, as you can see right now. I am not wearing any armors, even though it visually shows I am. That's because I have a mod that lets me, it shows what I'm wearing. Well, it shows a graphical what I'm wearing, but it's not actually what I'm wearing. So I'm actually technically not wearing anything other than this head slot, as you can see. So you can come in here naked, and as you can see, I'm cold. I'm not very cold, not extremely cold. -5 degrees Celsius looks like is where it's hovering. You can wear some of the heat protection armors, which if you wear a heat protection armor usually in this place, you are getting frostbitten no matter what. It doesn't matter how much heat protection, because heat protection does the opposite effect. It will actually make you colder in cold places. So you can wear some heat protection armor and be fine, as long as it only has, like, it's very basic, like a 1-bar heat protection. If you wear like a 2-bar, like the Silent Legion armor or anything like that, you will get you will still be extremely cold in this place. Okay, nextly we'll show one of the decorations. This is pretty much the only decoration shy of the banner, which is the Goblet. As you can see, it's kind of a cool, it's a little decoration, nothing too crazy, nothing too special, but it's, it's a nice decoration. It's got really nice intricate work, so it is one of the things you get when you choose the Holy Syndicate. The table is not, that is actually just normal. From, I believe, one of the vanilla tables. Maybe it's a mod table, I can't remember. But either way, the next item is the banner. I love the banner. Now, you can tell, like I said, that you're basically going off to, like, Elvenor to learn their ways. So the Holy Syndicate's banner is basically, looks like the Elvenor banner, but the symbol is way different. It's got that sunburst, the same as the House Stormcaller has, but then it's got that draconic skull. So definitely clean, very, very good contrast. I like the design. The banners I love in the game, I've mentioned a billion times. I can't wait to every sub-faction's in, because then we'd have so many banners. I decorate my walls with banners like crazy, so anything that's different, I like it. Next, we'll look at the Warlock Armor, and I demonstrated on the female and the male characters just so you can get a gist of what it looks like. It looks pretty much the same on both. Right now, there are 2 variations of it. You have the regular variation of it, which it is a medium or light armor. Gives a bonus to accuracy, which we can take a look at, plus 12 for the regular one. And it gives cold protection. The elite variant is just a beefed up version of this, which we'll click on real quick. Looks exactly the same currently, at least. I know with the Empress Knights for the Cold Embrace, the elite variant looks slightly different, so you never know if that will happen. I know basically anything that looks like the Magus armor is kind of locked in the dev kit currently, so I'm sure when that finally opens, will probably most likely the elite variant will change just like the Empress Knights did. Maybe not, you never know, but that'd be pretty cool. But either way, the bonus accuracy goes up to plus 15 instead of plus 12. Pay no attention to all the attribute points I have. I was doing another video and I needed to have max attributes for that. So anyways, pretty good. I mean, we've had this armor for a while. This used to be the end game Felgarth armor. Now it's moved out of Felgarth and moved into one of their sub-factions. So you can only get this armor now if you are the Holy Syndicate. Okay, so the next item is Savar. So this is the pet. Again, this used to be part of Felgarth, but now, because Felgarth now has sub-factions, each sub-faction has their own pet, and Savaris has been moved into the Holy Syndicate. So it's there is obviously a decoration variant of it. This is the actual pet variant, so it does follow you, as you can see, and it does have stats. Now, I max leveled this one just so you can get a gist of its possible stats. This is max level 20, so here's some of the perks, here's some of the buffs. This one actually got pretty decent. I mean, agility, whatever, but the strength is pretty nice. HP is pretty high, so stat is not bad. I mean, they definitely got a little buffed in one of the most recent updates, so that's kind of cool. And next we have the Blades of the Syndicate. I wanted to do a quick close-up picture of it. Let's see if we can get a little closer, just so you can see the design on the hilt. Pretty nice. The blade design is very interesting and very unique. I like the like striations or whatever on the actual metal blade too, so it's definitely pretty cool. It is a two-handed sword. It attacks like daggers. As you can see, it's the dagger attack, so you're basically going to do the same as what a dagger would do, but it's something different, giving you the dagger ability, but with a little more reach and looking like a two-handed sword, so more like a battle mage. And we'll take a look at it real quick. Stats are nice. Bonus strength, which would be plus 12 to strength. All right, the next item is Stormbreaker. So this is a mace. This is a very unique weapon to the Age of Calamitous, and I'll show you once I get out of this little frozen mode. But it's a really nice mace. It's definitely sick. It actually, if you kind of look at it, the horns on it kind of look very similar to the horns on the Draconic Skull on the banner and stuff like that. So it's definitely got that kind of feel of the symbol for the Holy Syndicate. But we'll take a look at it. This is why it's unique. As you can see, it's got lightning coming out of it, so it shows off a little bit of like air magic. It emanates a little light in the dark, which is kind of nice. It doesn't actually do any like magical damage. It just does regular damage like a mace would do. You never know if that will change, but currently that's how it is. So it's just a mace, but again with the lightning, it's just something to make the game look a little sicker. It also has an elite variant, so at level 120 you just get a better, beefier version of it than you would at the level 80. Okay, so the next one we are going to take a look at is Spiritual Siphoning. Now, this is an item, if you've ever played Elvenor or are familiar with Elvenor, you're probably familiar with the exact same tool. So because the Holy Syndicate is basically being trained by Elvenor or aligned with Elvenor, whatever, they get access to this item also. This is one of the best ways, well, maybe not the best way, but it's definitely one of the easiest ways to get ectoplasm. You equip it. It is basically like a dagger, as you can see, it's in my hand. And it's like a skinning knife. So you just go to a thrall. Of course, you actually have to hit them. And there we go. For some reason, it was delayed when it came up. But as you can see, we're getting ectoplasm from the thralls. I was actually confused for a second. I was like, wait, what is it doing? And you get ectoplasm. So you get one ectoplasm from each humanoid thrall that you skin with this. Now, it only has a certain amount of use because it has a very low durability and it will break fairly fast. If you can put one of the weapons enhancements on it to increase its durability, and it's better, so it lasts longer. And you can repair it and all that kind of stuff. So this is a really good way to get ectoplasm early game. Well, not early game, but level 80. Okay, so the next item we're going to take a look at is the Staff of Vazayus, and I'll get a close-up of it once I finish showing it off. But bonus survival, it's an offhanded weapon, so you can actually equip this with a one-handed, as you can see. I have it equipped. And basically, it doesn't change the attack of your one-handed. It's not like a shield or anything like that. It doesn't change any of that kind of stuff. What it does do is it gives you a control ability. So now instead, when you hit the control button or your kick button or whatever, instead of doing a kick, you're actually going to do a magical attack. So basically, it's something that lets you channel magic through the weapon. And basically what it looks like is it's got a pretty long time. I'll do it one more time with the next level up. But as you can see, it does a good amount of damage. Now, I do have max accuracy. Accuracy does increase magical damage. It also does an arcane burn. So it's a small burn debuff that it does on them. Now, I'll do it with the elite variant to see how much more damage it does over the original. The symbol's really cool. And there you go. And the last items to come to the Holy Syndicate are their spells. Now, Holy Syndicate's being taught by Elvenor, so they're basically being taught Arcane Magic. So these are 3 Arcane Magic spells. You can only get this if you are the Holy Syndicate and you level them. And they're pretty decent. They're pretty cool spells. Actually, the Siphon one's actually probably one of my favorites. Now, I'm not going to go crazy in depth on these because we are redoing all the magic videos. And I'll go into a lot of in depth in that. And I didn't want to spend 10 minutes going into each of these when we already have another video that's going to have to do that anyways. So I'll just give a quick demonstration of what they do. We can look at the damage. As you can see, we'll do Siphon first, which is a single source projectile. There's damage and stuff like that. They all cause magic or arcane burn. So this one's Siphon. And as you can see, I definitely like this one. Again, I am max accuracy, and I'm using this in Arcane Magic 5. So this will be your vanilla rate if you have max accuracy. But I like it. The trail's sick. The flight time on it's is really nice. And I don't know. It's just different. It seems a lot more powerful and violent and stuff like that, so I really like that. Okay, so the next one we're going to check out is Crystallize Charge. Here we go again. This one's an AoE. There's your damage. Same thing, arcane burn. And you know what? We're actually gonna test this one up from up here, just so we can have. And as you can see, you get like a burn in an area. Let's see how far. Let's see if we can hit both these guys with that. Nope, I think. Oh no, it hit both. Or I'll have to wait. Nope, it just hit the one. So this one does do arcane burn. Now this one's an AoE, so you get those little flying thingies around it. They look like magical bugs or whatever. Anything or the items in the direct vicinity of that flame will get continuous stacks while they're in it. All right, and the last one is Overcharge. So this is another arcane spell, similar effect, and this is also an there it is. It's an AoE, a little higher damage and stuff like that. This one I actually like a little better. It's pretty much the same as the one we just showed, Crystallize Charge, but it's a little the view, look of it's just different. So very similar, but we'll take a look. And it does add a little cripple, which is kind of nice, and the little bug field is kind of a little bigger visually. Okay, and that's everything that the Holy Syndicate has. So, like I said, decoration-wise, not so much. But if you're into, especially if you're in Arcane Magic, a lot of people that I know of that use Magic, really, they kind of gravitate almost towards Arcane Magic, at least prior to the rework. So I feel that a lot of the other Magics have been given more to kind of put them in line with Arcane. So we'll see how that goes. Leave in the comment section below which Magic you kind of currently are leaning towards. Like I said, I am doing a Magic guide if you, just to put it out there. I know I get a lot of questions on it. I did the Nature Magic video. The next Magic video, part 2, is coming out soon, if it's not already out at the time I'm releasing this video, so it just depends. But that is coming out. But either way, we'll go over the more in-depth on the arcane spells in the Arcane Magic video when we redo that one, which is, like I said, I'm trying to get those out as quick as possible. But otherwise, I like the Holy Syndicate. Overall, I think the idea behind the Battle Mage and stuff like that's really cool, and I'm very interested to see what happens to them in the future. If you enjoy the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you are looking forward to the Magic videos or any other videos, make sure you hit the sub button so you get notified as soon as the videos drop. We got a lot of videos coming out. I'm working on a lot of them at once, so I'm trying to get them out as quickly as possible. Also, leave any comments, questions, concerns in the comment section below. I do check out all the comments. Also want to give a huge shout out to our Patreon, our elite Patreons. Thank you so much for everything you do. If you're interested in being one of the Patreons, definitely check out the link in the description below. They do get access to videos early, or some of the videos earlier, and some of the tiers actually get even earlier access to some of the tiers. So check that out. We have a couple other really cool benefits on there. So the link is in the description below. We also stream on Twitch and have an amazing Discord where I make the YouTube series from and we stream from. As always, just want to say thank you and fear the reckoning.